Hello, good evening, everybody. This is a Link to the Past Randomizer League. We are invitational at this point. I believe this is the conference finals, an exciting matchup, game 4. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm Allkicks. I'm joined by Moogle. Moogle, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing wonderful this evening.
Awesome. I mean, with what, 2 fantastic runners? I think both of these runners individually are undefeated, correct?
Yeah, as it turns out, these are 2 of the 3 remaining undefeated individual players left. The other being Zelga Desan, who hopefully will get to a game 5. But yeah, Gamma is 10-0 and Sailor Nep is 11-0. So just blazing through the Invitational this season.
It sounds like by what you're saying, Nep is just straight up better than Gamma at this point.
Yeah, about 10%.
Okay.
I think.
All right. We just wanted to make sure that. Just wanted to make sure that was on record. But this is an exciting matchup. Game 4 between Skull Kids and Titans Mitts. Skull Kids represented, like we said, by Gamachu. Titans Mitts represented by Sailor Nep. Skull Kids have a 2-1 lead in this series, meaning Sailor Nep has to win in order to keep Titans Mitts in the running. As the lower seed, Skull Kids had the opportunity to choose the mode. Specifically, Gamma had the opportunity to choose this mode. I already said it lost. I'm not biased at all. But he's going with hard MC shuffle, and so it'll be exciting to see kind of how this works.
Yeah, already starting off with some divergence here, which is nice. So as you mentioned, hard MC shuffle. It's basically your open mode seed. The only difference is that your maps and compasses are shuffled within the item pool as well. So every dungeon basically has 2 other items inside of it. So it gives a little bit more weight to dungeon diving versus just your regular open mode.
Yeah, but at the same time, you might going into a dungeon, if you can clear, you're thinking to yourself, okay, I hope this is a crystal and not a pendant. Because sometimes you clear the dungeon, you see the pendant falling, and you're thinking, oh man, I might have done this entire dungeon for nothing.
Yep, and that's the catch, obviously. So yeah, if they get that map, they'll be able to check the map screen and find out whether or not it's a crystal or a pendant before they go in.
Yep, and we're seeing Gamma, who picked up 10 bombs doing the Uncle route, is going to go ahead and do the front of escape with the 10 bombs. He should have, I want to say, minimal difficulty doing this.
Yeah. Other than that, both runners not really finding too much of anything other than $50 over on Nep's side.
Well, it's good for Nep because she'll be able to use that money to buy bombs. I don't know. Do you like risking doing Blind's Hut hoping to get some bombs, or do you just with those 50 rubies say, okay, I've got the money, let's get the guaranteed bombs, and kind of route it a little bit differently?
Yeah, I personally tend to save and quit, and then I'll route it from the south, just to get myself that guaranteed 50-50 couple of chances there before I head over into Kakariko. Especially with that $50, you can pick up the bombs before you head north.
Yeah, although with the money now, that I think that makes the decision a little bit easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we have money for the bottle vendor as well. Gamma, in his front of escape checks, did pick up a shovel. Will be interesting to see if he then chooses to route to Kakariko, kind of maybe coming from the south to get that shovel check, or if he still will do the usual start at Sank and then kind of route south and end with shovel in this scenario.
It's a good question. What would you do in this instance?
I think you still do Sanctuary and then route south and end with the dig spot. I don't think the shovel alone is enough to deter or to switch the route. He also picked up a bottle, so unless Nep finds a bottle here, that's another check that Gamma will be able to do that Nep won't.
Yeah, definitely. I could see where Gamma switches up the route a little bit if he gets some sort of Dark World progression, but yeah, with nothing that helps you get into the Dark World, there's no reason not to just go from Sanctuary.
Yeah, Gamma using the pot strats here to kill the ball and chain guard. Pretty standard. He's going to hold off on Dark Cross right now. I believe there was small key was in the Sanctuary chest right here, so I think it's guaranteed that Dark Cross will have an item no matter what.
Yep. Ooh, and the ice rod over on Nep's side.
You love to see it. That's one of the items that can be literally anywhere except Trinex. So a nice early item to get out of the way. Aside from that, no, not a whole lot here. Nep's foregoing checking race game. Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, to do all these double backs, it just feels bad. And it is a long check just for one thing that you can get, because you can scout the library, but you can't necessarily get it unless it happens to be boots at the race game. So
that's true.
From what I know of these runners, I think I would say that Nep tends to play a little bit more aggressive than Gamma would.
It would make sense. Plus, I mean, you look at the times, and like Nep finished her Kakariko sweep in what 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I mean, that's really fast for a Kakariko sweep.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you do the full Kakariko route, even starting from Sanctuary and doing it all the way down to race game, that's usually about 5 minutes. So she blazed through that.
Yep. And Gamma opting for the start at Link's house route to go into, almost forgetting about the shovel there, and ends up doubling back. Nep got the ether, by the way, in the dam.
All right, 2 out of 3 medallions already. It's pretty good. Shovel not being anything today. I know you mentioned Gamma starting south and going up north. He did do Lost Woods, so he will be ending his route at Blind Hut. Nep's having a little bit of difficulty with this mini moldorm that just got really stuck where it was. Yeah. But she took care of it without a problem.
Ooh, and I don't know if you caught that, but there is a hammer there at the race game.
Oh, wow.
Which Nep is going to be fairly late to, I would imagine.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see when she chooses to get back there. I suspect maybe we'll see like a front of escape play from her before that. Maybe even head over towards Sahashala, although I don't know if maybe she would go into Eastern. But yeah, kind of interesting to see when that play towards the hammer will come. And I think especially for Nep, you don't want to see the mitts.
Yeah, if she gets the mitts, it's going to be actually really tough, I think, for her to get that unless she has the mirror when she happens to make her Dark World loop. Nothing there in the library.
Just a nice hard piece over at Astro Cave. Nep not interested in doing any fake flipper shenanigans. Although I think she has plenty of money if she wanted to, but choosing to hold off on that for now. Gonna do the back of escape. Gonna get the 3 items. Not sure if she'll take this over to Dark Cross, but she knows, considering it is MC Shuffle, that there will be an item there no matter what, because she already has the small key.
Yeah, with the sword, not having to death warp, I think it makes sense. If you end up going to Zelda Cell, you have to death warp to go check that chest. So I wonder. Imagine she'll go here.
Oh, well, with the lamp. Lamp makes the decision very easy.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to wonder out loud, like, if it would be quicker, like, is it quicker to approach this chest from the back or the front? Not counting the death warp, obviously, but, like, say if you were just going to Dark Cross from the main Hyrule Castle entrance, as compared to doing it from the back here. I wonder which would be quicker. I don't time out.
Yeah, I've never timed it, but I'd imagine that it depends on that rat RNG. If you get some bad RNG there and you can't find that key, I've been prone to actually save and quit at that point.
Reasonable. Just another heart piece, so not much. Nothing really in the front of escape, or really in escape in general, minus that lamp. Curious to see where Nep is going. I don't know if we mentioned this, but this is hard mode, so hearts will be capped out at 14. Swords will be capped out at Tempered Sword. I don't believe we're going to see a mail upgrade, and there will be no silvers in this pool.
Yep, and Nep making the escape play, definitely a reasonable play. I think you come here knowing that you can complete it, whereas the Eastern area you might not be able to. On top of it, Gamma tends to start with escape, so this may be a covering the bases type of play as well.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so Gamma done with his Kakariko sweep. With that hammer in hand that Nep unfortunately skipped. Again, hoping if you're rooting for Nep and if you're rooting for this series to continue, that she will get over to the race game sooner rather than later. Gamma's going to kind of continue. It looks like they're just kind of going to follow each other's tracks at the moment. So we'll be waiting to see who makes the play over towards probably the Eastern Palace area. Which is where progression is likely at, unless it's just sitting at Agahnim Cave.
Yeah, and Gamma making a beeline straight for Mini Moldorm Cave. This kind of tells me I feel like he wants to be more thorough in terms of how he's routing this, because I think after the Ice Rod Cave, he'll probably end up doing the dam into Agahnim.
That makes sense. That's a lot of... you kind of see that from some runners when it comes to South Shore. Like, if you're feeling okay, you kind of, like you said, do the Mini Moldorm Cave over to Ice Rod Cave and then dam to Agahnim, or vice versa, whichever. So yeah, I suspect Gamma will choose to at some point do dam to Agahnim Cave. Although you and I both know Gamma doesn't like to do the dam until he's doing Swamp Palace. So
yeah, that's true.
I would say we might not see Gamma head in that direction anytime soon.
Yeah, although, so after he gets his heart piece here, I don't see him fake flippering just yet.
No, I don't think that's something you worry about.
So,
right
all he'll have left, well, I guess he still has to do the back of escape, right?
Yes.
So that's probably the next play.
So kind of a little interesting to see, like, overall, it seems that Nep has been slightly more efficient with how these checks have gone in the early game. I mean, we're 10.5 minutes in. It's not like a lot. It's not like we've done a whole lot, but Nep has ever so slightly had a few more things. But again, the hammer, we'll see when she goes to go check it. She might actually be doing it. It looks like she's going to do it now with the shovel, which is really good.
Yeah, this is great for her. Gamma doing the back of escape like we thought. So yeah, these two will converge here. I think after this they would have done basically the same stuff except for the dam for Gamma, I believe.
Yeah, so this will be kind of once they're both done here, like you mentioned, our first real point of A, seeing who might be slightly ahead, B, where do they go? Are we going to see some potential divergence here?
Yeah, you can go to the eastern area. There's potential for 7 items. If the bow's there, you can get another. And then the mountain or Zora. Am I missing anything?
I forgot the mountain existed. I mean, the mountain's not a whole lot of checks right now, but yeah, the mountain does exist.
It's in Logic.
Yeah. Gammon not choosing the mountain play as of yet. We're going south. He's doing the dam. I am disappointed. Disappointed. Right, so where is Nep headed off to now?
Nep
has the bottle.
To check the bottle, yeah.
Yep, sick kid. You right.
So this is actually kind of nice for routing for her, because if she chooses to do the mountain next, she doesn't have to necessarily save and quit. Just walk there from sick kid.
Yeah, that's assuming she does it, but I'm not confident she will. But I admittedly don't know Nep's racing style too much, so she could absolutely do this.
And the save and quit.
We're gonna hold off. All right, so Gamma's gonna obviously take this over to Agahnim Cave, so this could be something that Nep holds off on for a while. So could be a big point of contention here. But it looks like Nep is actually going to go to the mountain, but it chose a save and quit instead.
So this must be faster. Another thing that I haven't timed, but I'm imagining it's faster.
Yeah, I was like, how often do you have the opportunity to do this exact scenario? So it's like, when do you time it to think to yourself, okay, I need to hold this little bit of information in my mind.
And just a heart piece for Gamma there in Agahnim Cave. So Gamma also choosing to go to the mountain, looks like.
All right. Do you think either of these runners will take this all the way up to Spec Rock?
I would for sure. I don't see why you would make this trek just to save the old man.
I've seen runners do it. I've seen runners just call it good right here.
Yeah, there's Nep.
There you go. Like,
I mean, she skipped the race cave earlier, so it doesn't surprise me.
Sure. Gamma, why'd you kill the bush crab? That was unnecessary.
He's feeling aggressive today towards the enemies.
I was just saying he's feeling
even the ones that help you.
Nep's coming down here to buy bombs. We'll also check the floating island, Lake Hylia Island.
Is that a mushroom?
That was a mushroom.
Okay.
I don't think we had seen that from either side, so a little interesting there.
Yeah, and just a 20 on Lumberjack there, so we shouldn't be seeing any Aga today. Unless check that's what it wants, and there's a moon pearl on pyramid.
I don't think we're that's a lot to ask for, and I mean chat can be that way. I'm not going to be that way. I think we're going to find the moon pearl here relatively soon.
Yeah, I agree.
Considering we honestly don't have all that much left.
And Gamma going to scout Spec Rock.
All right. Interesting. We're going to go into Eastern Palace over on Nep's side. Did talk to Sahashala, learned our green pendant today is Desert Palace. Now, an argument could be made to just blind check this item, like just drop down and go up the stairs as opposed to doing it this way.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my goodness.
I did it in a race not too long ago where, coming up the mountain, I didn't have the mirror. So I immediately just, because if something is there, you save, a couple screen transitions and some walking.
Yeah. And, this works well for Gamma as he does pick up the mirror. So we'll be able to go into Hera and do East Death Mountain as well.
Yeah.
Gamma not even attempting the bomb jump.
I was just about to say that, and he has no bombs, so that makes sense.
Oh, he doesn't have any bombs.
Nep just went to buy bombs too. So
I know that's interesting, huh? I mean, there are bombs in Tower of Hera that Gamma can go pick up.
Yeah, there's a couple on the way to Moldorm.
Because otherwise, well, like let's say for a second. Oh well, no, they've got the lamp. So yeah, I was gonna say if Hera basement was the thing, but yeah, no, we have a lamp. Never mind.
Yeah, now I don't see Gamma doing, like, if Hera basement is required at this point, you would clear East Death Mountain first, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I feel like I would.
Yeah. You take care of East Death Mountain and then come back up. But you would still need to at least pick up a bomb. Ooh, a sword. So that's Master Sword for Gamma. Nep not finding anything of value here in Eastern Palace quite yet.
And Gamma getting the big key, so unless the small key is locked in Hera basement, there will be an item down there that he's almost certain to skip.
Yeah, there's the one bomb. I think you have to approach the big chest the vanilla way, because I think you need to hold on to this bomb, unless you maybe after defeating Moldorm just come back and pick up that bomb again. Because I don't think there's another bomb up here.
Yeah, he could buy one in Paradox Cave from the.
You would need the bomb for that. I think Gamma
there
is
a bomb here on the left. There's a bomb in one of the pots on the left that he should be picking up here. There we go.
Okay. Right. I don't think Gamma really knew that.
All right, so there is an item down there, and Nep just getting the $20 out of the big chest, so she'll be making her way up the mountain now.
Will she? I mean, okay, yes, she will.
All she had left is Zora at that point.
Zora and Agahnim Cave.
Oh, right, yeah. She didn't do
I was gonna say she basically had like 3 bad options essentially.
Right. Yeah. Moldorm playing ping pong with Gamma. And gets the spin.
Yep.
So Nep going directly into the cave.
Yeah, Nep's not even checking. So she'll be rewarded by having a slightly quicker Mire pickup, although again, still just in general behind Gamma by now that Tower of Hera clear.
And can bomb jump across.
That's a interesting setup.
I've actually never seen it that way. That looks actually way easier than me trying to make sure I'm not like balancing on the ledge and accidentally falling in.
It's like the setup itself is no different from like the one that I'm used to. She picks up and holds the bomb and positions herself really nicely without like doing a whole lot else. So that was actually really, really good. Gamma, meantime, is going to take care of Hera Basement.
I'm surprised by this. Knowing that you have several chests that you can do, that's not too far away first.
Clearly, Gamma has determined that there's an item down here that is worth getting. In reality, I think this kind of tells me that Gamma feels he might, in general, have a slight execution advantage over Nep, and feels like he could be a little bit more thorough in this matchup.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the Moon Pearl.
Wow.
Hey, look, there was an item down there.
What did you just say like 10 seconds ago?
Okay, maybe it was because Gamma determined that there was an item down there.
Well, hopefully Nep decides to go back in there for that. She's 0 for 2 on skips so far.
Yeah.
But thankfully not too far behind. Obviously she's done the entire eastern area. So obviously that, when she goes back there, she'll just need to do the boss. But hopefully she dives back in here for that Moon Pearl.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, in Nep's mind, you've made 2 skips that haven't paid out. So like maybe you're already starting to feel a little bit behind. So you're ready to make a 3rd skip that unfortunately is just going to just keep getting worse and worse.
Right.
But I suspect if she does skip Hera Basement for now, I suspect when she does East Death Mountain, she's going to go back. At least I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too. Because as you mentioned, the only other checks that she has off the mountain are terrible ones. And Aga's even in play. Not that you would do Aga before basement, but
doing Aga.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if she does like Zora and Agahnim Cave and she's down to literally Hera Basement or Aga, maybe she chooses Aga. Which at this point that's just not something you can do against a runner of Gamma's caliber.
Right, I agree.
And expect to have any success. The mitts and the boots are up here. Oh, that's I think that's going to keep Nep away from Hera Basement for a little bit.
Yeah. So you can do King's Tomb now. You can do Bonk Rocks.
Yep.
Probably combo that in with Zora. It's probably going to be a little while before she gets that. Nice bonk from Gamma, by the way. That was nice.
Yeah, so Gamma's going to go ahead and just take this right over to Dark Death Mountain now. Did he do Spiral Cave? Do you know? I think he went straight to Paradox.
Yeah, no, he dropped down to go in from the Paradox entrance that you can mirror the block.
Yeah. Oh, did pick up a map to Eastern Palace. Did check. Saw that it was a crystal.
So Nep not wasting, that time. The big key was vanilla, if I remember. So Gamma will have to do that too.
Okay. I admittedly wasn't paying that much attention, but that makes sense.
Rockins ether.
Yeah, and I mean, if by small chance we get the Cane of Samari up here, I would expect Gamma to at least make a dive in to check the Nep, please.
Gonna
Nep,
super bunny.
I mean, we don't have a Moon Pearl, so we're gonna super bunny. We're gonna actually super bunny.
Well, and when she's done, she can actually mirror.
Yeah, that might have been a oh hey, I don't have the Moon Pearl moment.
Yeah. Would have been interesting to see if she committed to it.
I mean, at that point, yeah, maybe you just do Super Bunny Cave as a bunny. All right, so Gamma's saying no to Spiral Cave entirely, unless he did it. And yeah, Nep is gonna save and quit for right now. That's
I don't believe he did it, but I could be wrong.
Chat is saying he did, so okay. I'm gonna trust chat.
So Gamma has the entire Dark World open to him at this point, except for the Mire area. It's like he's going to be entering from the portal north at Kakariko and then probably loop his way all the way around.
So he's doing Skullwoods then, right?
I feel like you have to. I mean, we've been talking a lot in the community about the data that Big Dunka has released, and Skullwoods always having an item. And I think in this mode in particular, and Skullwoods has 4 items instead of the usual 2, like you kind of have to go.
Mm-hmm. But I could also see Gamma skipping it because he's got Mitt's hammer. He has plenty of other things that he can do. Like he can fully clear out Thieves Town. He can, do his always hated Smith chain.
Oh, he's psyching us out. He was going to go south and turned around to go north.
Yep.
I feel like without the flute, if you choose to enter this portal instead of the Hype Cave portal, you kind of commit to doing Skullwoods.
Yeah.
Me personally.
Gamma choosing out it kind of the mid to front, doing this check first, probably going to get the key in case this isn't a small key over here, and then kind of come back through the front. Nep heading over to Agahnim Cave. Again, unfortunate here at this point. She's going to be down at this point to Zora, to Hera Basement, and Aga 1.
Yeah, and Gamma getting a key out of that first chest, so just turn right around and almost dies on his way to the front of
dies.
At least it makes the death warp easy, even though he's got the mirror. Oh, hey, look. Our third sword.
Tempered sword.
I thought this was hard mode.
Look. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't actually know.
Nep doing. Oh, we have the mushroom. No, we don't have the mushroom.
We've seen the
mushroom. Where are we going then? Yeah, we've seen it. So this is
this just might be her path to get over to Zora.
Yeah.
and getting a potion while you're at it, which I don't mind.
Yeah, makes sense. Maybe her first play will be in a pod potentially.
Only getting a green potion though is a little interesting. Gamma's got to be careful. I was like, because those murder dactyls would have killed him.
Yeah, and continuing with the very thorough play.
All right, so if you're Nep, what do you do after this? Like, you're down to a 50-50 on where this Moon Pearl is.
Like, you have to do Hera basement. The time commitment to do that is just so bad.
I know, but
like, you willfully skipped it. I get it. It's just, I don't know. That's pretty rough.
All right, so a green 20, a little interesting.
So probably a male upgrade.
I think at this point it has to be a male upgrade, and she's doing Aga.
Oh wow,
that's this is just unfortunate. Bad. Like, yeah. Well, this is the Aga one play. It's not going to be the Moon Pearl for Sailor Net, but could be something else that maybe Gamma puts off for a little while. But yeah, this is looking really bad for Titans mids right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks that Nep's making the incredibly aggressive play. Following through with the other aggressive plays, by the way.
Yeah.
Just none of them are working out.
Yeah, she's made 3 skips essentially this seed, and has been brutally punished all 3 times.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is the worst of the punishments.
Yeah.
Is, spending 3+ minutes doing Aga 1. Gamma, meanwhile, because, there are 2 runners in this race, in Thieves Town, hasn't really picked up anything of significant value. Gets the big key right there. We'll probably continue and just full clear this dungeon anyways. We do know 2 of our 3 pendant. Oh, hello, Kanan Samaria. Right as I said, there was nothing of value in here so far. We do know 2 of our 3 pendant dungeons, by the way. Gamma did do a map check earlier and discovered that Mire was a pendant. He obviously doesn't know about Desert yet, but collectively we have 2/3 knowledge.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what, at this point, because Mire is now a pendant, what could be on the pyramid that could potentially punish Gamma? And I mean, we're down to only needing a fire rod, bow, and flippers for go mode, right?
I would say
a hookshot. We need a hookshot too.
A hookshot, yeah. I think the one thing that would punish Gamma the most, and I don't even know if I would consider it a punishment, because I would low-key expect Gamma to probably head there soon anyways with this Dark World route, would be a bow, and maybe say one of Eastern or Pod was a 5/6, although we know Eastern isn't one of the 5/6. So yeah, I don't know if there's a whole lot that would punish Gamma.
He has to find something first.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Like the Canis Mario wouldn't be enough to deter him from going to the pyramid at this point. Like he would almost need Flipper's hookshot to maybe go into Swamp, go into potentially Ice Palace, and maybe find something like that.
Yeah. Now, if I were in Nep's shoes, so if I'm digging myself a hole, I mean, I keep going, right? So do you see something like a hookless swamp play? Do you see, some a pendant ice palette? I know ice is a crystal in this case, but something like that where it's just so aggressive that maybe your opponent is going to put it off for a while. When you do something like this, you feel so far behind that it's all right, the gloves are off.
But even right now, there isn't a chaotic enough play that I think Nep could do that could potentially swing things back in her favor.
Right.
You talk about a hookless swamp. She doesn't have flippers. You talk about doing Ice Palace. She doesn't have a fire source right now. She doesn't have Bombus or Fire right now. Like there's nothing that is so bad for Gamma that she could do right now that would potentially bring her back into this race initially. It just with the item layout as it is right now, I don't see a clear way for Nep to really climb back into this as of right now. That doesn't mean that it can't happen. It just right now I don't see it.
And just bombs there.
Yeah, so she knows now that it's Hera basement.
Yep.
Gamma finishing off Thieves Town does learn that it is a crystal, so he now knows about 4 of the 7 crystals that we need. So what does Gamma do next? I mean, like obviously this is just a south loop. Does Gamma say, "Man, I know I hate Smith Chain, but am I going to do it this seed?"
I think with the mirror, he'll do it. I mean, he's able to full clear this entire area. Mm-hmm. And with the way that he's been routing so far, being as thorough as he's been, I would be surprised actually if he didn't do it. Now I know Gamma hates Smith Chain, like you said, but just in terms of keeping up with his current,
his current play style for this race.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he is doing Smith Chain. So he's really he's not giving Nep an opportunity to come back right now. This is very much a style of play where it says I'm going to give myself as few lose conditions as possible.
Yeah, and he hasn't been burned by anything yet.
No.
If anything, it's been the other way around, right? So he probably feels even more comfortable in doing this kind of stuff.
Meanwhile, it looks like she's having a little bit of fun with
just taking out her frustration on those tiles there.
Sometimes you got to do something during the little bit of a break to keep yourself fresh and happy. But there is Nep's Moon Pearl at unfortunately the 36-minute mark. She's going to say no to Dark Death Mountain for now, which is, I believe, the correct call. I don't think Gamma found anything initially there.
No, if she had a red potion, she could have done Spike Cave, but I think at that point there's...
Oh, yeah.
To make that loop around would have been a lot of time.
It looks like she's also going to start at the village. I suspect she skips Skullwoods. I think in her position, she's got to go south.
Yeah, you've skipped, things so far, and you're now you're behind. Mm-hmm. You start to make some concessions for sure.
Yeah, Nep is gonna cut corners wherever she can, which again just adds potential lose conditions for her, but is exactly what she needs to do. Like she'll obviously do Thieves Town, she'll clear it, but I suspect she skips Smith Chain entirely. There's a hook shot on Gamma's side over on Stumpy.
Yeah, so it doesn't really unlock too much other than Hookshot Cave. And Gamma turning in the purple chest here. So he will be orphaning Ambo's tablet. I know he doesn't have a book, but...
Yeah, I don't think Gamma's too worried about that right now.
Yeah.
And that hookshot does mitigate one potential thing that could have come into play, and that's, say, Swamp was a pendant, and you look at a potential, hover / moldorm bounce, which I know Gamma knows how to moldorm bounce, and I know Nep knows how to hover. So I don't think it would have been that big of a deal, but being able to pull it off in a situation like a game 4, is different than just doing it in practice.
Oh, not just that, but this is hard mode, right? So he wouldn't be able to buy bomb upgrades either.
Yeah.
So he'd be stuck on 10. And I've seen plenty of times where people are going and they load up on 30, 40 bombs. And Gamma getting the flippers. So I imagine he's going right into Swamp Palace.
I suspect we're looking at a Swamp Palace. Like, he might check what our 5-6 crystals are right now, which makes sense because I don't think any of the crystals that he's seen have been 5-6. So this could be TR and Pod, which again were crystals that we didn't know were crystals. So Gamma has 6 crystal knowledge already.
Yeah, and
he's gonna
continuing north. So this is probably the play up to Catfish. Wait.
Oh, turning around. He must have realized what he has and is like, wait a minute, Swamp Palace is a thing.
Yeah, he quick swapped over to the hook shot and was like, oh, wait a minute.
Although we're down to what? Let's see. He knows about one pendant. We know Desert is one, so it's 50-50 at this point, whether Swamp is our last pendant between this and Skullwoods.
Does he skip left side Swamp?
No, because he's been really thorough.
Yes, I think so. I think he'll actually do it.
You think he'll actually skip?
No, I think he will do it.
Oh, you think he goes immediately? Yeah. I agree. One thing we didn't talk about is that Nep only did the front 4 of Thieves Town, and then she's out. Which, okay, that's fine right now. She got her Canis Samaria out of that. She will need to go back and do it because Thieves is a crystal. But for now, she's she's making skip. She's doing everything she can to make up time. And I guess as Fear Agent and Chat points out, if Nep say skips Swamp Palace entirely and Swamp is a pendant, that's a big time save for her.
It's several minutes. That'll make up most of that Aga play back.
But I also agree with what someone else is saying in chat that it's really hard to skip Swamp Palace right now.
Oh yeah, especially when you get it here. Half of the reason why you don't want to go into Swamp is because of all the mirror transitions and saving and quitting at Link's house, running south. It's like she's here already.
Yeah,
you get the starter package to hop in. Like, let's go. Yeah, and Gamma going straight to left side Swamp.
Yeah, so Gamma's just continuing just the overall playing very thorough, which it isn't something I normally see from Gamma on a race-to-race basis. Gamma's usually a bit more like he feels out how the seed is going and kind of makes decisions here. He's got to feel like this seed has been going well for him and feels comfortable making the thorough plays.
Yeah. I think Nep will 100% skip this.
Left side?
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
In some weird way, like, do you skip Compass Chest? Maybe?
No, I think that's a little bit too insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be quite interesting to see what Gamma picks up here on left side. Again, if you're rooting for Titans midst, left side needs to be nothing, and Nep needs to skip it. So 100 rupees to start, and then we have just a blue potion. So
one of his
there.
prized possessions, though.
he hasn't picked up his bug net yet, so
yeah.
We know Gamma's not in true go mode until he picks up that bug net. Nep going down. And look at that. If you didn't know anything else about the seed and were just watching the screens, you'd think Nep is ahead right now.
Yeah. If you didn't know the crystal count, yeah.
Didn't look at the crystal count, didn't look at everything else. Nah, Nep would be ahead right now just based off, watching the screens.
Yeah, and so at this point, Nep is missing just the Tempered Sword from Skull Woods, and then obviously the TT clear. But making skips like that, she is certainly making up some ground.
Absolutely, and it would be beneficial if, like, say something in here was a sword that obviously Gamma can't get because he's already at Tempered.
Yep.
And so that would just mitigate the sword advantage that he currently has. Which, as it stands right now, I mean, if this were to be the final sword count, that'd be pretty big. We do get Bombos, so I suspect I know where both runners are headed next.
Yeah, and there's stuff you can skip there too, like Ice Tea Room.
I was like, I think Nep 100% skips Ice Tea in this scenario.
So slowly making up some ground. Now the sword disadvantage is going to hurt here. And the same will be true for Cold Stare unless we find a Fire Rod soon.
I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to get the double spin. Got to be careful with their health, Like I said, got to be careful. Oh, and it is a pendant. And it wasn't even...
Not the mirror. All right. I thought she wanted the ice rod, and then
I thought she did too, but we're
scaring
fine.
me there a little bit, yeah.
We're fine.
And this is going to be another feels bad with the pendant.
Yeah.
But now she'll know if she needs to clear Thieves Town.
Well, she doesn't know Mire.
She left it.
Yeah, she doesn't know Mire's a pendant yet. I don't think she did that map check. Gamma getting the mushroom. Did he know about the mushroom? I don't know if he knew about the mushroom.
I don't think he did. This may be just I'm going to Ice Palace, but I'm going to route in the island, which I haven't seen yet.
Sure. And this also gives him the opportunity to do Hobo as well, so makes sense.
Which is another thing that Nep will more than likely skip.
Yep. Nep does know about the mushroom and isn't going to skip that right now, which, yeah, that makes sense. But I suspect Nep goes straight to Ice Palace next. Alright, so Ice Palace. Kind of the next logical chain of, hey, follow the items. I think that's kind of what this seed has been leaning towards ever since we got Dark World access.
Yep. I feel like we're going to find a bow in here.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed that the Fire Rod is going to be in here.
Why is that, Wally?
Well, I don't know if you've ever heard of this crazy thing called the Rule of Fire.
I haven't. You want to talk about it?
It's the theory that has definitely been proven true time and time again, that if you have one of Bombos or Fire Rod, the other one is just naturally going to be in Ice Palace.
Oh wow, I've actually never thought of that before.
Gasp.
It's an interesting theory. I like it.
All right, good.
And Nep immediately going to the right side, hoping to find the big key on the way, I'd imagine. Otherwise, she's going to be full clear.
We did get the big key in the first chest.
Oh, that was in the first chest. I missed it. Yes. Okay.
Gamma's about to be very happy because he has a bug net now.
Blue bottle followed by a bug net. It doesn't get any better than that for him.
I was like, Gamma's just straight up invincible at this point.
And the cape. I don't think anything was on Bumper Ledge.
No. That cape does logically open up Spike Cave. Something that I'm sure both runners are very excited to know.
So do we do iced tea room?
No. Like I know she knows it's an item at this point, but no, you don't. You've done. Like,
yep.
She again. This just all goes back to how her early game went.
Yeah.
And how unfortunately terrible it was. Not because she played bad or whatever, but just her decisions led to her last locating or skipping a lot of stuff. Yep. And so she needs to make the plays to make it up. But she knows that it's an item because we found the 2 small keys already. All right, Cold Stare. Not a free fight. Green Mail, Cold Stare does a lot of damage. And I don't think she has a blue potion. I think it's only a green.
Yeah, she opted to buy the green. Gamma got his blue potion on left side, so... And these eyeballs do 4 hearts of damage, so... Or it's spamming sword now?
Yeah, the thing is, this magic's going to run out. Okay.
Green potion time. No?
Not yet. Oh, green potion time. Oh my goodness. She's hugging the top, which
is scary.
This mitigates the... Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's unfortunate. When I saw where the 3 were, I was like,
they had her cornered.
That was really bad. And she's out for now, which,
makes perfect sense.
I mean, it does, but at the same time, it's just something that she has to go back to. Like, she knows at this point she probably has to go back into Thieves Town.
Yep. So this is a play into Turtle Rock.
It's also
Hookshot Cave.
Mountain. Yeah. She hasn't touched Dark Death Mountain yet, so I mean, this is by far the highest dense location for her.
Yeah, without Fire Rod, she's 100% going in, knowing that that's something that your opponent might skip.
Yeah. So we're going to see the Zora area off of Gamma side. I don't think we actually saw Waterfall Fairy at all.
Yeah, she didn't have the Moon Pearl at the time, and I can't remember. Right. Did she have the boots? She did have the boots, though.
She did, but she approached Zora from taking the portal by the Witch's Hut.
Right.
So.
That's right. So there'll be 3 new checks here that we haven't seen of Hookshot Cave. Gamma didn't have Hookshot the first time he was here. Only got the first chest, which was nothing.
Alright, so where does Gamma go next? Because, he's down to, in his eyes, options that aren't terrific. I mean, you could do pod without a bow. Probably go... that's probably where he's headed to, because I don't think he's done Sahasrara yet at all. So,
he has not, no.
I mean,
this is a play for Mushroom first.
Reasonable. Makes sense. Alright, so nothing in Hookshot Cave.
Look at this.
He's not picking up the compass? What is...
No fluff, but let's get a couple of blue potions out of it.
I don't know who this person is on the left anymore.
And this is the Hookshot Cave play.
Yeah, and then he'll probably just take this right into Turtle Rock, knowing that he's probably going to get rejected pretty early.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised that he didn't do Saha.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with this play. It's just there's 3 free checks that have been available to you since the start of the seed. Ooh, this is a Spike Cave play.
Okay. Okay.
So continuing with the thorough play.
Yeah. Nep did get a small key in the first check, so we are continuing on. Yo, Gamma hitting up to 14 hearts, which is the max he will get.
And the bow.
That's a bow. Okay.
A nice bow.
A little interesting. Definitely helps Nep a little bit. Makes her next decisions very easy.
Yeah.
You know, I still think in the grand scheme of things, this isn't going to be enough. Because even if, say, the other bow is just in GT and Gamma has to, you know, go to TR for the bow, it's very, you know, it seems highly likely at this point that the fire rod is somewhere in pod.
Right.
And so he would just take that up to Turtle Rock, get his bow, and just do another mountain trip. But this is helpful for Nep, and Gamma's going to say no to Eastern/pod. Where are we going? Is Gamma just listening to me?
I think so.
What the heck, Gamma?
I think that's what he's doing.
Well, this is going to be a Hookshot Cave into Turtle Rock. Well, any potential advantage that Nep could have had momentarily for having that bow is unfortunately going to be gone here in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, so the thorough play basically also saying that, you know, I'm not double dipping dungeons unless I absolutely have to. Knowing that he's going to double dip Turtle Rock, but doing that isn't so bad if you're going to get rejected right away versus doing an entire clear of pod out of logic or Eastern without a bow. But, you know, he did do Saha first, which I was surprised he didn't do it before Spike Cave, but ended up doing it before committing to any dungeon, which made sense. So Gamma hoping for a fire rod here in Hookshot Cave's not going to find it, but will almost likely go over to Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
Especially when you commit to this kind of time. You really wanted that magic.
He really wanted that magic, which I don't understand why, because you get a full magic in Turtle Rock.
You know, he's greedy. He's greedy sometimes. And maybe Gamma feels like going into Turtle Rock by opening the pot with the bomb instead of the one with the magic.
He's choosing the right pot.
Yeah, it could be.
I want to see it now. Oh, disappointed. All right, so that picked up the big key here in the front and is going to go straight to the boss with the name.
Helmosaur?
Yeah, that one. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, she'll be going back in.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Gamma's going to do probably this very same play because Gamma's just going to be Fire Rod for go. And, you know, if you have the opportunity to skip the back of pod by getting your go mode Fire Rod on Helmosaur King, you do that.
100%. Yeah. The only way you don't go here first is if you don't have that second key. But
yeah, this just
not going to be the case.
Yep.
And Gamma feeling really good about skipping the pod Eastern play right about now.
Yep, because he hasn't even stepped foot into Eastern at all. So, just overall, like this has just been. I'm struggling to come up with the right word, but like, Gamma's routing has been immaculate.
Yeah, and very safe, right?
Yeah.
He's been extremely thorough, but efficient as well.
Definitely.
Meanwhile, Nep fighting Helmosaur and having a great fight so far. And finishes it off.
second up map, getting her second crystal.
And that will tell us everything we need to know. We got the Skullwoods map out of it.
Yeah, but she map checked and learned that Mire was a pendant, so she knows that she had her information. Nep saying goodbye to the golden bee. Goodbye, bee. Alright, is the fire rod here? I think it almost has to be. Unless we pick up like a flute. Or a book.
Yeah, the outside of those two checks, or the two areas that those two checks lock. Yeah, it almost has to be the fire rod. Because we've seen everything else.
Yeah, I mean, Gamma's routing has just checked everything off the list. I'm pretty sure he's also done even like Graveyard Ledge.
Yes, he did Graveyard Ledge.
So, yeah.
And there's the flute.
Interesting.
So that puts Mire, puts Ped into play?
Yeah. It's not great. But it appears to be where our fire rod is going to be at this point.
Yeah, and Nep, as I mentioned before, she's got the big key already, so this will be a straight to Armos play, whereas Gamma will have to go all the way to the big key chest first.
Yeah, and I suspect Gamma is probably going to actually do Eastern right after Helmasaur King.
You think so? Before checking the rest of the pod?
Yeah, just because Gamma knows he has to do Eastern, and so if Fire Rod would be like along the critical path in Eastern, which in this case is doing every check because of the vanilla big key, then he gets to skip the back of pod entirely. And if it's not in Eastern, then you just walk back in the portal, go back into pod, and
yeah, that makes sense.
Doing the back.
Yeah, all you lose is the two mirror transitions, but
yeah, it behooves Gamma to do Eastern first in this scenario after Helmasaur King. Gamma doing his patented 2-bomb strat, which I think is slightly faster, but can be a little bit more challenging to get.
Yeah, if you get nice RNG and you get both bombs to land, it's pretty quick. Takes off what, like 8 hammer hits?
I think
something
so.
Like that.
Yeah. There's crystal number 4 on Gamma's side, while Nep is about to hold up crystal number 3. So we have crystal cutscenes at the same time. Always enjoyable to see, even if only for a few seconds.
Yeah, it's a nice feels good moment. Oh, and Gamma doing the backup pod first.
All right, going back in. Interesting.
I mean, he figures Flute's back there, so.
yeah. See, in his mind is like, all right, I'm looking for the flute. That's what I'm looking for right now. Definitely not the fire rod. I'm looking for the flute.
I mean, the seed has gone really well so far. Like, I can't remember the last time I've seen a seed where it's like literally everything goes right, and there isn't something trolly.
And like, we say everything goes right. I mean, Gamma's Gamma's left nothing to chance. He's full cleared the seed. Like,
yeah, for sure.
The only bad thing that Gamma has done, which it can be reason to feel slightly bad, is it appears the Swamp Palace play was all for naught, because nothing was behind the Bombos medallion. Like, nothing was in Ice Palace that made that Bombos medallion required, unless, say, Bombos to get into Misery Mire, and that's where our Fire Rod is. So
right, yeah, and I don't think you certainly don't. I mean, you feel bad by seeing it as a pendant, but when you get those flippers, follow it with, regardless of what route you take, you get the flippers and the hookshot together, your opponent is going into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, you do that play. Like, I agree that you feel bad that it's a pendant, but you don't feel bad because you are like, there's no way my opponent isn't also sucked into this play.
Yeah.
Especially since I think with as thorough as Gamma routing, I think he had to know that there was no way that either runner could have determined it was a pendant. and as chat pointing out, my determination of Mire being Bombos and the Fire Rod being there would be an extension of the wonderful thing that is the rule of fire.
Now, I forgot the explanation. Do you want to go back into
Yeah. So the theory about the rule of fire is that, if you have one of Bombos or Fire Rod, then the other is just going to be locked behind it. So, in this instance, we got the Bombos medallion out of Swamp Palace. So the thought here for our runner side is that, that means the Fire Rod is going to be behind the Bombos, which, 98% of the time means Ice Palace, but potentially you get a medallion requirement for something like Mire or Turtle Rock, and the Fire Rod is there, and that would also fall under the rule of fire.
Oh, nice. That makes perfect sense. I like it. I do want to point out, if Nep hadn't died to Cold Stare, we'd actually be really close.
I would say we would have a pretty good race in our hand. You are entirely right. Like, for as unfortunate as Nep's early routing went, she has actually done very well to close a lot of the gap. But yeah, the death to Cold Stare is really at this point what is punishing her the most right now.
Yeah, because after this, if she follows it into Skull Woods and does the front to get that tempered, like, we are essentially even on stuff. Now, she's orphaned some nasty checks, but those are things that she would 100% not go back to, and we know, based on what Gamma's done, that they don't have anything. So, it's just that Cold Stare death now that she made up the entire Aga play.
I mean, and part of that's been helped along by Gamma just with his usual thorough play.
Right. Yeah.
I say usual. With his thorough play this seed.
Yeah. He hasn't deviated from it
once. No.
And Nep, doing the optimal play here, going to Thieves Town first so she can just mirror and activate that flute. You do the front of Skull Woods, or do you just follow that flute? Follow it, right?
Nep still has to follow this. Like, there's, she's done well to, like you mentioned, done well to make up the time. You kind of follow through with that, which we know is going to be the right play.
Yep.
She doesn't know that right now. Like, in her head, she still has left side swamp. She has front of Skull Woods. There are things that are still on, like, that could trip her up that she doesn't know won't. Just at this point, she needs to follow through with the flute, and I think she will.
Yeah, definitely the right play in her shoes.
Gonna get the blue potion this time.
Yeah, because when you're missing Fire Rod, and like, she has to think that Gamma has already been to Skull Woods.
Yeah. Here comes the Mire. Now the question is just, what did you do first? Do you do Mire? Do you do Desert? They both, I think, are 4 items. If you count the green pendant, that's 5 for Desert.
In her shoes, I probably don't even mirror, and I just go straight into Mire.
Reasonable. Did we see what medallion? Oh, there's the other sword. All right,
nice. That is great for her, because she's not even going to do the front of Skull Woods at all now. Not that she would have before, but having that tempered is an equalizer.
Yeah. Like that was one of the things that Nep needed for sure.
She does desert.
Okay.
Yeah, and my theory for picking Mire would have been like, I feel like this is the play that most people would do, so I'm gonna do the opposite of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like desert's so fast, right? You can do the front end and just.
I suspect we're not killing Landmo.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do that in her shoes. It is an easy 3 items here.
Like, unless you want to Hail Mary this. Like, if you say, okay, desert is my play, green pendant is my play.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time seeing that. Gamma's going to go do powder, which I forgot we had. I don't even remember where we got that.
Yeah, same. I do not remember that.
Not the fire rod.
And a lot of green 20s are popping up.
Yeah, Gamma's at full health. Nep is missing, at this point, probably just a heart container. It looks like she is choosing...
Checkerboard.
Checkerboard, okay. Oh, Nep's out. Where are we going? Are we going back into ice?
Cold Stare now?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, she has to do it.
I feel like you do this in order to make sure that you check Iced Tea Room, though. You're looking for the fire rod. Why don't you try and find that first?
Yeah, I think at this point, you almost have to do Iced Tea. But, I mean, again, with how this seed has gone for Nep, I mean, I think she still, in this case, continues skipping it.
Yeah.
Gamma looks like he's choosing desert.
And you know it's a crystal, and you have to clear it anyway. So if the item's on Cold Stare, it's a win-win in that case.
Yep.
So Gamma choosing desert. If he decides to kill Landmo,
I don't think he chooses to kill Landmo. Like, I still think he'll do the front and then go to Mire.
I agree. But if
if
he chooses this, Nep's making up a little bit more time.
But that's if then Nep would choose Mire over the desert clear.
Correct.
So I mean, this race still isn't over. Like, and that's good. Like,
yeah. I mean, at the 25-minute mark, we were like, well,
yeah, like
this is gonna be really tough.
If you watch the first, yep. If you watch the first, like you said, 25 minutes of the seed, you were thinking that Gamma had this on lock, but his thorough play is starting to become a slight issue here.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that, and Fire Rod could be first chest in Mire, but if Nep goes there, she's very close.
And Gamma's gonna probably go do checkerboard first here. She'll be done with her Cold Stare kill. They could be entering Mire.
He already did checkerboard, so he's going straight. Yeah, he's going straight into Mire right now. So
I thought he went from.
No, he's already done. Oh, it is Bombos.
Well then, rule of fire.
All right. Well,
I don't think Chad has heard it yet. No, we can't do that to them.
I don't think they can get it the third time.
Okay.
I want to welcome everyone from SpeedGaming 3. This is Link to the Past Randomizer League Conference Finals of Invitational League between Titans Mitts and Skull Kids. Gamatru representing Skull Kids, Sailor Nep representing Titans Mitts. Skull Kids with a 2-1 lead. This is game 4. Sailor Nep has to win to keep her team in it. If Gamachu wins, then Skull Kids moves on to finals, where they will face either Pug Trio or the Spoilers.
Yeah, Nep fluting away. Ended up skipping Ice Tea, which is great for her, going right back to 6. So this is going to be the Mire play more than likely, and she's just a couple of checks behind Gamma.
Yeah, she is closed the gap significantly. And yeah, for those of you who kind of are coming in here now and kind of missed the early portion of the seed, Nep choosing to be a little bit aggressive early on, chose not to do race game, which unfortunately had the hammer. She did get to that eventually. When she went up to Death Mountain to rescue the old man, she only rescued the old man, did not check out Speck Rock Cave, which was the Mire. Again, she got to that eventually, but already having kind of missed those two important items, she tried to cut a few corners, including skipping Hera Basement, which unfortunately is where the Moon Pearl was, and she hard last located that, even doing Aga 1 unnecessarily in this seed. But she has made up a lot of time, like we said, cutting corners everywhere else, and Gamma, on the other hand, has been playing extremely thorough. Gamma has skipped nothing this seed. And that play, combined with, Nep's skips, have let her kind of make up a lot of time. They're both in Mire at the same time with the same number of dungeons done.
Yeah, and the big key was on the left side. If Fire Rod is on Vidi, I could see Nep having it before Gamma. I don't think you skip all this other stuff, but the way that she's been routing since then is like...
I think it's a little too chaotic
to
go straight to Vidi. But I mean, you never know.
There it is.
But it's right there. And that is go mode for Gamachu, about an hour and 15. But this is within GT routing range.
Oh yes, definitely.
So we aren't done yet. But looks like Nep is going to do... I'm surprised of all the things that Nep has skipped. She's choosing to do Vanilla Big Key Chest.
Yeah, like my Vidi call was more of a, you're trying to go for Hail Marys still, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I am thoroughly surprised at this play.
So by the time she gets that Fire Rod, Gamma will be probably right at the Mothula fight.
I'd say he'd be right at that fight. So yeah, Gamma's probably got about a 2-minute lead at this point, which, Gamma's GT route, I think, is usually Hope right. If he gets a small key, I don't think he's a DM. I don't think he likes DM, but he might do it in this scenario.
Yeah, in the race against Dante, he did Hope, and it didn't have a key, so then he went and did the DM route after that in order to make sure he did Compass Room. So
yeah, because I think he knows Dante usually likes to go DM, so
yeah,
I think that was only the play to protect against DM, even though if it meant, a slightly slower route.
Right.
Gamma just going all out. Nice big key. All right, crystal number 6 on Gamma side.
And Nep getting her Fire Rod here. So yeah, it's just over 2-minute difference. I think Gamma was right around 1:15:30 something.
That sounds about right. I think it was 1:15:40 basically. So yeah, so like I said, a little bit over 2 minutes. But again, within the realm of potential GT shenanigans.
Yeah, I beat Gamma once going straight to Tower Room. That felt really good. do you do something crazy like that with your Nep?
with how Nep's seat is gone for her, like maybe she does.
Yeah.
Like that's. I mean, again, with how the beginning went, the death to cold stare, which is looming large right now, and that's not something I think any of
That's
us
the
really
difference.
expected at this point. Yeah, I mean, that's the difference right now. So yeah, I mean, Nep might feel like she needs to make the tile room gamble and have it pay off. Alright, into Torok for Gamma. We've already done 2 checks here, so we'll go right and then kind of work our way to somewhere later in the dungeon. My brain just shut off, don't mind me.
Steal the Poke Key, kind of loop around.
Steal the Poke Key, loop around, realize you don't have the big key, curse a little bit, go back, get the vanilla big key. Yeah, totally how this is going to go. And that being just as aggressive on this Mothula kill.
Yeah, a little bit faster. Gamma hit Moth into spikes a little bit more, but
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, still gonna need to make up some time, obviously. You know, I forgot that we actually had to do Turtle Rock still. So, well, I mean, it's just more time where Nep could, you know, potentially make up some ground if her execution is better than Gamma's.
You also need the dead rocks to provide you with nice RNG.
Yeah, so far so good. Gamma getting the heart. This guy.
Wants to be as safe as possible, man.
Yeah.
You know, 14 hearts. There might not be any chain chomps anymore, but, you know, you could still be in trouble.
Getting the second key.
I would say it's even a good TR layout. Nep, you got to turn right.
No.
This is going to cost Nep a couple extra seconds, unfortunately.
At least she realized they're not all the way at chain charms. And Gamma stream is paused. Oh, his stream is live. So it should be coming up here momentarily. There we go. Gamma fighting Trinex, having a
looks like a pretty
clean run at it.
Yeah, clean enough. All right, that's 7 calls for Gamma. On to GT now. All right, something about checks. GT Bakey, go.
Is this a question for me or for chat?
I don't know. Either are acceptable.
Gamma, let's go with 22.
Either. All right.
Because that means Nep might get it quickly.
Wow.
I'm just, I'm hoping for the tile room play.
I understand.
We'd love to see it. He's been very thorough. Like, let's make him thorough one more time, right?
Yeah.
So Nep's still within shouting distance, entering the dark maze. Gamma choosing the hope room play.
Yeah, this is his usual strat. If he picks up a key here, he'll probably take this right. Choosing the correct route when doing hope room, if you intend to go right, and that's do the right chest first, and then hookshot over left, and then hookshot down. I thought for a second with that powder he was going to do tile room, and would have called him crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a bit much.
I like that ice color, like that ice head. That's a good color. Oh, and look, it was just right side. All right, so if you guess chest number 6, 5, a number.
I wasn't keeping track.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Trinex fight. You were commenting on the pretty colors.
It was a pretty ice head.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, the palette shuffle on Nep's side has actually been pretty nice today.
It really has. But this is kind of, this isn't good for Nep because Gamma found the big key really early.
Yeah.
So like
no. Yeah, it's what she's needed is for him to continue his way. Yeah.
Oh no.
That's not good.
That's not good at all. That was a console crash.
Yeah, based on what happened to the screen.
And that's
not.
Yeah, so looking at the race room, Gamma has unfortunately forfeited. So that's
unfortunate.
That's not how you want to see this end.
No,
that's not. Just no. Nep. This brings up a play of okay, what? Because I don't know if Nep has the race room open. Nep's in GT at this point. If she hasn't seen a dot done, most runners at this point will probably close the race room and kind of go through GT. But I'm not an admin, so I'm not sure the rules or regulations over here. But in most scenarios, if Nep would want the win, she would need to finish this out, and then it would kind of go from there. So so unfortunately this console crash is that
sucks. Especially with how the seed has gone.
Yeah, there's genuinely no other way to say it other than that just sucks. That's a big key for Nep. She's out. Gonna start her climb. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know. And like there's no way for Gamma to have, clawed back at that point, because like
right.
when was the last time Gamma saved and quit?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Probably Spy Cave. That fairy was very mean to Nep.
The one that's always incredibly mean to me is the one that's under those bonk rocks on Death Mountain.
Because it usually just flies away.
Yeah, it's like, see ya, I'm going to Floating Island. You have fun there on your Dead Rock Island. I'm going to go all the way up here where I can't be touched.
To enter chat, I'm pretty sure Gamma uses a Super NT.
Yeah, I think he got one a few months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, for those who may have just got here, Gamma was ahead the entire race, but unfortunately during the GT climb his console crashed and had to take the forfeit here in this race. So Nep is finishing this out, entering Land Mode 2 right now.
Nep almost running out of magic there, but having just enough there to get through Torches 1.
Yep. Torches 2 shouldn't be that big of an issue, especially now that I'm pretty sure they patched out the jingle glitch up here, right?
Yes,
I don't think it's possible for a runner now to accidentally mess this up. Alright, getting the fairies this time and the magic.
It's fully prepared for Ganon.
It's always interesting, now that I run Rando and you played this game 10,000 times, but as a kid you don't think of that as essentially a restock room for the Ganon fight, but that's essentially what that room is.
Yeah, definitely. And if you think that's what the developers intended?
On some level, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah, because when you play the NMG route, you get the restock right after Agahnim, right? And I guess if you're playing this for the first time, you think, oh, okay, so I'm gonna kill these Aghanims now and then
get a restock.
Refill. And you get nothing.
But that doesn't
wait a minute.
Yeah, it's that doesn't happen. Nep on to the Aga 2 fight had a very nice first cycle, slightly less nice second cycle, and not a nice third cycle.
Yeah, those blue balls don't help for sure. But we get it done here in the fourth cycle.
Yeah, so on to the Ganon fight. So Ganon fight in hard mode, no silvers, tempered sword. This is essentially how an NMG Ganon fight would look. Because I think in NMG you end up with 14 hearts.
Yeah, that was why the hard mode was like chosen to be the way it was, right? The no silvers, no mail upgrades. Yeah.
Not getting the 1-in-1. I think she missed a slash, which was a little weird.
Yeah, it looked good to me.
Missed the 1-in-1. Putting the cape to good use though, and I know she has a blue potion, so we'll pop that in and get the full magic back. For those in chat asking, Gamachu's console crashed during his GT climb, so he unfortunately had to take the forfeit. Nep, if she wants the win again, we don't know. Like I'm sitting here not saying I don't know what is going to happen after this, but Nep is finishing this out, and then I think they'll talk and decide how you want to move forward with this.
Yeah. Yeah, having a pretty good fight so far outside of the 2-in-1.
Yeah, and just to point out, I'm not going to speculate what Nep is going to do. That's entirely between Nep and Gamma. Spin to win. 12 spins will get you the Ganon kill. And this has been, like you mentioned, aside from the 2-in-1, an overall pretty clean fight.
Yeah, she's getting the triples and everything. Down goes Ganon.
Yeah, so get GG's in chat for Sailor Nep. Really pushed through the seed, despite everything that happened to her, and then unfortunately later to Gamma. But she'll finish with the time of 1:35:24.
Yeah, GG's to Sailor Nep. GG's to Gamma too. Unfortunate that he had the console crash, but played a pretty good race up until that point.
Yeah, Gamma is very thorough, and like you mentioned, it proved to be very, very well this season. Went well for him. I'm not sure if we're going to be getting either runner in here for a discussion. It looks like we do have Gamma in here, so he might join us. Hopefully? ? I did notice him in the setup, but we'll see if he chooses to join. Don't know if Nep is going to join us either, but yeah, this was just overall just a great race to watch. Not the ending notwithstanding. Like, this was just wild to see. Gamma takes such the commanding lead, and then Nep continually chipping away at that.
Yeah, it was really great to watch, and us being able to talk through the things that, is she going to skip this? Is she going to skip that? What's the optimal route that you take here, thinking that you need to start making up time? And she was doing it, right? And we forgot all about that Aga play at the end of it, right? Because it came down to then the cold stare death. That, if she doesn't die there, she's ahead going into Mire, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think she'd be the first into Mire, and potentially neck and neck with Gamma in GT. So yeah, quite a wild race. We'll see how this kind of plays out. So if this result holds, which again we don't know that yet, that's up to Nep and Gamma to talk and discuss and figure out. There will be a game 5, which will be retrants, and it'll be between the other two runners from both teams, which is Ramond and Shireen from Skull Kids, and Dante and Relkin from Titans Mitts. And I believe we are now joined by Nep. GG's.
Thanks.
GG.
So before we get into some of the obvious things, let's talk a little bit about the seed. You unfortunately had kind of a rough start. You were a little bit aggressive. You made some skips, and I think every single initial skip you made had an important item.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't feel bad about the hammer because getting the shovel and bottle and escape, I was able to just route in going back over there naturally. So when I found it, I hadn't really done anything yet where the hammer would have been too useful. So bother me. The moon pearl, though, that was an honest mistake. I don't know. I made a math error in my head. Well,
Oh
actually, it
no.
wouldn't even be math. Simple counting.
Mhm.
My brain shorted out and I forgot to go back. And then after I did Aga, it's just like, I just gotta swing for the fences and hope for the best. And, other than the cold stare death, it seemed like I was blessed with the luck that that was able to be an effective decision. But none of it felt good.
Yeah.
we were discussing a lot. We kind of thought that your decision to not do Hera basement was just a byproduct of, not getting the hammer when, earlier, and then at the same time not getting the Mire until a little bit later on, after you had already saved the old man, then went over to the eastern area. So that's kind of what we thought the Hera skip or the Hera basement skip was. But interesting to know that it was just, oh man, I forgot that there could be an item.
Yeah, I made a mistake. When Aga was the thing, I immediately realized what the problem was, but that was just it did not feel good.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah.
This is unfortunately a little bit of a rough seat for you, but like you said, like you did a lot of chipping away by making the skips. I guess the one skip that you didn't make that I was interested in hearing your thoughts was the vanilla big key chest in Misery Mire, because like at that point you had skipped left side swamp, you didn't do Smith Chain, you were committed to not doing Ice Tea at that point, even after you'd gone back into Ice Palace the second time. I was wondering why then you did the vanilla big key chest in Mire before maybe checking some of the other checks in Mire.
Well, if I ended up full clearing Mire, then I intended to commit to Ped, and I was in a situation where I couldn't know whether the last item would be on Vitreous or in that chest without pulling one or the other. So I figured, let's do this because it's closer.
Yeah.
No deeper reasoning.
Yeah, no, that doesn't need to be a deep reason.
Aside from that, I am glad that I turned around and stopped myself from going all the way to the Chain Chomp room without revisiting for those keys that I needed.
Yeah, we commented on that.
Touch the door.
Yeah, it was nice for you to turn around at that point because you only lost a few seconds instead of, making the play all the way to Chomps and say, oh man, I gotta turn all the way around now. Yeah.
But we can't talk about the seed and not talk about, unfortunately, what happened with Gamma. I'm not going to ask. I'm going to let you and Gamma talk. But like, kind of, how do you feel about like what ended up happening in this scenario? Like, because this is just an unfortunate situation all the way around.
Well, I didn't actually have the race time room up because I assumed that I lost up until I killed Aga 2. I figured, well, let's see how bad it was. I need a miracle. And then I saw the forfeit and then the explanation for the forfeit. I was like, well, that's not the kind of miracle I was hoping for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that shows go be careful when phrasing your wishes.
Unfortunately, yeah. And I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like you close the race room at some point, and like you something like this happens, you don't see it until later. So like, yeah, don't blame you at all for holding on to that. But yeah. So I mean, I guess we're looking at a potential game 5. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play forward. I don't really want to go too deep into that. So I guess I'll just ask you for your final thoughts on the seed.
I felt lucky in the sense that there were so many things that I just decided, because of the way this early seed went for me, and then the cold stare death compounding that, I'm just like, Smith Chain, I don't have time for it. Found the cape, and I'm like, well, North Dark, and I'm just like, no, I don't have time for that. Even turning in the mushroom when I went to go get my safety potion, that kind of felt bad, but I'm just like, this is short enough that I'd feel very silly if the fire rod was just here. And I kind of wanted to go into Mire before even touching Desert, but I didn't feel great about it, so I just kind of decided, well, desert's closer, I'm going in. The bow was kind of interesting, but because of all the green 20s that kept popping up in other spots, I didn't know. I didn't know anything about where the other bow might have been. So that would be an interesting thing to know.
Definitely would. I know Gamma also picked up the bow in Turtle Rock, so yeah, that one bow is the one that we know about. Yeah, so I think that's everything I had. Moogle, did you have any other questions, comments to discuss before we wrap up here?
No, the only question I had was actually going to be the Mire one that you asked already. You know, I just want to commend you on having a good race and coming back. We were commenting at one point about how the Aga play didn't end up costing you because you chipped it all back. So, you know, GG's to you, and we'll see you guys in Game 5 potentially.
All right. Well, thanks very much, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. GG's again. And for those of you who are in chat, Fear Agent, who is one of the admins of the tournament, says that there will not be a re-race, that the Game 5 will happen. I don't believe that's been scheduled yet, so you will have something to look forward to. That race will be between Dante and Welkin from Titans Mitts and Ramond and Shireen from Skull Kids, and that will be in co-op Retrance, something to look forward to. On the other end of the Invitational League, I believe there is a Game 4 tomorrow. Moogle, do you have that schedule up?
Yeah, it is at 2 o'clock Eastern between Andy and Shady Force. I believe it's an Infrosia.
Yeah.
I can double check, but I think that's what it is.
I'm pretty sure it is too. So something definitely to look forward to there. I believe Pug Trio is up 2-1. So a win by Andy would launch Pug Trio into the finals. A win by Shady would leave us to another decisive Game 5. But yeah, I think that's going to do it on my end. Moogle, it's been an absolute pleasure commentating with you, and this has been quite the race to commentate, I must say.
Likewise, I really enjoyed it. This was a fun one up until the 129 mark.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you again, everyone. I want to shout out to our tracker, Scoopula, as well. I don't think we did that in the entire race, and I apologize, Scoopula. But you did a fantastic job keeping us, in track and keeping an eye on those map checks too, because I'm sure there was a couple of times where I missed where a pendant or cursor was. So shout outs to our tracker, Scoopula. But for that, I'm Walkix, and I hope everyone has a good rest of your evening.